Are you having issues with Twitter?
Oh, it's been down today.
Hasn't? I thought I got banned because like I haven't been able to post stuff, so I thought I got banned. Like,
no, that's a Twitter thing. That's not a you thing.
Okay, as long as it's a Twitter thing, because I was starting to get pissed.
Yeah, no, it's been like it's only been the people I know that are like heavy into Twitter freaking out about it, but it's happening.
It is the tipping point with Mike Tipton right here on Fox Sports 1380. Again, apologizing to everyone out there on the stream that's not able to listen to the music. It's Facebook's fault.
It's completely and utterly.
I also apologize to our Twitter audience. It was growing. We had like a steady stream of people watching on Twitter, which was making me happy because this is like the first time we ventured into actually, putting it out there on Twitter the way that we have recently here.
The other platform.
Yes. Twitter's down. I thought I had gotten banned. I was even thinking to myself, like, what did I post that could have gotten me into trouble, like Twitter jail?
Did you insult men lately?
I mean, I have put up some stuff, man, like on Twitter. Like, that's where you can find me a little more, like, in my bag of just, I have zero filter.
Yeah.
And there's points where, like I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't say this because of the public platform I have.
And then someone sets you off, and then you totally do.
Yeah, I mean, and like it's been to like listeners too, man. Like my dude Jaime, he'll come at me every now and then, and like everyone who follows me on there, like I should probably put the disclaimer in my bio on there. If you bring the flames, I bring them back.
First three rows will get wet, folks.
I mean, it like there's a whole splash section like SeaWorld.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is, man. But I wasn't banned on Twitter. Andrew informed me 10 seconds ago that Twitter is having their issues.
Yeah, they are not like fully down, which is why people are like, oh, Twitter's still up. It is not. It is like throwing tweets left and right. There's whole issues going on with it. Might be a DDoS, but I haven't actually seen anything about it, like what's going on yet. So who knows? Just don't rely on the tweets right now.
For the people out there that might not know, myself included, what the hell is a DDoS?
Dedicated denial of service, basically where they overload the website with more traffic than it can handle. You think like a big site like Twitter could withstand something like that, but they got botnets, they got crazy stuff out there, cyber tactics to take this stuff down. A lot of ways for them to try and take it down.
Like it would be unfathomable to me that Twitter would have that issue. Like unless something major happened, like Kim Kardashian showed her ass again, like that would be the thing to break the internet once again. Although I don't think it would be Kim Kardashian anymore.
I think I've heard rumors about Cardi doing something like that, so maybe that's what happened today.
Well, no, like Cardi had the nip slip where she accidentally posted up a nude, which, by the way, man, if you're going to be posting up nudes, you got to know where you're going to send them to.
That's true.
Accidentally posted up a nude on, like, Instagram, and that was, like, yesterday. So it still wouldn't be affecting.
So we're not in the tidal wave from that? Okay.
No, and I think there's a lot of people out there that are probably thinking to themselves, like, who hasn't seen that? Also, like, a different topic, another time. I'm not going to bring up the people that still pay for porn. Like, who's that guy? Like, my goodness, you gullible guy.
Physical porn, too. Like, they go out to the magazines. Like, the internet exists, my dude. Come on.
Well, not only that, like places like, the adult warehouses and stuff like that are around town, like, how? Like I know that they got like, other things wow, I'm way off the rails right now. But like I know they've got like other things, but they also have like a huge selection of movies. Like who's out there buying like, you know what I need to see on Blu-ray? This movie. like who's that guy? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Apparently there's enough of them.
Because I always feel like whenever you go to like Walmart or a place like that, Best Buy, anywhere like that, and you buy a movie, that's like an impulse buy. Because I don't think anyone goes in saying, I want to buy this specific movie.
And for that matter, Best Buy getting rid of their physical DVDs.
I noticed that the other day. I went to Best Buy to like look for stuff for here at work and stuff, and was like, "Oh my lord!" Like they had no DVDs, no Blu-rays, no video games.
Yeah, they're getting rid of. I don't know about the video games, but they're getting rid of the movie physical discs. Not sure how that's going to work going forward.
Nate Pineda saying that we help make her day go by faster. I love
Fantastic.
that.
Yes.
Once again, that's what this show is for. Like, you're just hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big old conversation. And as we know, as we've seen, like, I have to try to filter myself out every now and again. I will read literally anything you put in front of me. I am Ron Burgundy.
Go blank yourself, San Diego.
You stay classy, El Paso. But, yeah, so it's like that's impulse buying, DVDs, movies like that. When was the last time you bought, like, an actual physical DVD or movie?
I will be perfectly honest about that. Like, it used to be the $5 bin, and now it's like the $2.50 bin they got at Walmart, because I'll be like, oh, you know what? I wouldn't mind owning this movie for this ridiculous, the physical copy of this movie for a ridiculously low price. I have been quite a slave, but I am a frequent victim of those bins.
Oh, yeah, no, like I found Tombstone in there, and anyone who knows me knows, like, I am a huge fan of Tombstone, the Val Kilmer vehicle, not like any of the older ones or anything else of that nature. Val Kilmer and Kurt Russell, I want to say, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Also, weird that Kurt Russell's name was the last thing Walt Disney wrote.
I did not know that.
Yep. Strange. But
something new every day.
Again, this weird ass show. But that was like I think that's like the last movie I bought, like, as an actual physical DVD, because I feel like you can go anywhere now and find whatever movie it is that you want to. Like, I have Apple TV, and then I've got Spectrum along with that Apple TV, and I can find whatever the hell it is that I want. So what's the point of me going into Walmart anymore?
I mean, it's changing, but I mean, there's still, I mean, like, heck, in our community, there's still lots of people who that might be their main way of doing it. I will say, particularly for like the those kind of things where you're DVD heavy, or in the adult warehouses we're talking about, I would assume that there might be some internet service reliability issues in that area. Then that's what comes to my mind.
Oh, so you're like out in the rural areas, like over in, just, I don't know, hypothetical Tiburon, New Mexico. You're out hanging over there by Sunspot. You just don't got the great signal, and you're tired of the buffering in the middle of what you really want to see.
Exactly.
Okay, so I guess in that, but then, like, once again, like, you got to make a whole trip of it, go down, you know, because I don't know if there's any of those. There's an Air Force base in Alamogordo, so I'm sure there has to be. Right?
Oh, I'm sure there is, but that's why you then got to go to a warehouse of it, because you're not getting them. You're not buying DVDs individually at that point.
You're buying them in bulk.
Exactly.
That reminds me of Idiocracy. That movie's in my head right now. I watched it the other day, and
so happy you finally watched it.
I've watched it all the way through finally, and like, it is in my head right now. I'm just picturing big right arms is all I'm picturing in that context. Yeah, there you go. You broke my house in the middle of it. I guess like what? Like where would be like Tornillo? But I figured like they have decent internet service out there now. Like you're hard pressed now in 2020 to find a place that has terrible, unreliable internet service.
I feel like once you get in like the outskirts of maybe like Las Cruces, like that kind of like no man's land between Cruces and like Albuquerque.
Okay. Like Socorro, Truth or Consequences, like that no man's land of nothingness.
Well, of like, no major towns, because let's be honest, most of New Mexico is not major cities.
Those oil-filled towns got to be booming at the porn warehouse.
Yeah, I got to. Every time they come into town, when we going to them adult videos?
Did you know what? Like, once again, the weird as Mike Rivera comes in, extra confused about what's going on. Like once again, this show is the perfect dirty little secret out there for the whole radio world. Because unless you're listening, you will not get any of the references, because we very rarely call them back.
It's true.
I walk by the hallway right now, and I'm working on an interview with the mayor. And the first thing I hear is something about, why don't we go to those adult businesses? And we're like, wait a minute, what's going on in here?
Hey, every now and then you just got to go out there. You're a squirrel looking for something specific.
I mean, yeah, you want to stay. Yeah, you're a squirrel looking for a nut, and I think we definitely found it here in this room. That's for sure.
Again, like my weird moral compass, because I know I've said worse, but there was something about me like I cannot say that halfway through me saying a squirrel looking for. So, like, once again, my weird moral compass that I have, man. God bless you guys for actually putting up with me. I will say that, especially all of you out there, Radio Land, YouTube, not Twitter because of Twitter being down, and Facebook. Thank you all so much for all the support, love, and all that nonsense. Go support your local adult video warehouse.
Why not?
I think that's a name of a place, isn't it?
We got a lot of them that are like news. Like they all
they're
have
all
news in the
news.
name. Which confused the heck out of some of my out-of-town family. They were looking for like an actual newspaper. I don't know why they didn't get it like the gas
Wait,
station.
so you mean you can't get Newsweek over there at the news store?
They have it. They did not find it because they left pretty quickly after realizing what the hell is going on
It
here.
sounds like I might just get a rise out of that.
Mhm.
You mean they didn't have them over there by the fists? What I will ask though is, do they not know the internet? Like once again, I guess like we're answering the question about like what the adult video warehouse service caters to. If you had people from your family coming into town looking for an actual newspaper, God bless them for that one. But have they not heard of the internet? Because you can find that on the internet.
You can? I don't know, because I want to say this was actually around my wedding, which was the demolition weekend here in El Paso. So maybe they're looking for like some newspapers of like, we want to like save this one kind of thing or something. I don't remember the exact circumstances. All I know is they ended up there and it was not what they were expecting.
We're commemorating the destruction of a city. It wouldn't have been that day anyway. It would have been like Sunday. Or no, it happened on Sunday, didn't it?
Oh, it was Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, a double header.
Yeah, that's why it was the demolition weekend.
That's why you got to get the newspaper on Monday.
There you go.
Yesterday's news this morning. I'm sorry. I'm not hating on the newspaper. I love actually the newspaper. There's something about the actual newspaper that's why I still print. Yeah. Like I like having the actual paper in your hand.
Print is nice.
I just wish that our newspaper here got a little more love and respect. Those people deserve more money and they deserve all the gratitude for the hard work that they do. You will find very few investigative reports that like out here as you would in actual newspapers. That's me getting off my soapbox. I apologize for aging the show 90 years.
Well, Sonny.
But this is the stuff going on in the world today. Do we have enough time for it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to do the little preview to it. Let's just get into the opening tip. And on a day that I thought it was going to be a barren sports news day because of no Thursday night football.
Right.
We had Tuesday night football. I would take the Tuesday night football over the Thursday night football, though, I feel. Because I feel like Tuesday night football has a certain ring to it. Thursday's just out by itself, hanging out in like its own little island, and no one really likes it.
I don't know. I think a lot of people have been treated like the preview to the weekend that way, though.
On a Thursday? Like, when have you ever previewed your weekend on a Thursday?
Like, getting into it, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people who've been like, well, that's Friday. I'm phoning to get in anyway.
It's like Friday juniors. Okay, I guess. Like, get you ready. You can nurse your hangover on the day that you're going to do the least amount of work.
Exactly.
Statistically speaking, that is the Monday following the Super Bowl, too.
I believe, the amount of people who call in and that kind of thing, it's bad.
But we had a couple of things happen here in the city of El Paso today. As a matter of fact, Mayor Dee Margo came in and made a couple of announcements. We'll talk about that coming up. The governor came in, made an announcement about that. We'll be talking about that. And, of course, new restrictions, because what we have in common with Walmart here in the city of El Paso is rolling it back.
I knew you were going to say that again. It's a great line.
What the hell, man?
I mean, the situation ain't great.
717 days. Or 717 new cases today.
Today, yep.
It feels like 717 days that we've been in COVID.
Yeah, I mean, we're in week 13. We're in month 13 of 2020 right now, it feels like.
Pat Vallejo agreeing with me, though. She says she likes the Tuesday better because there's nothing on TV. I like it better because it gives me something to talk about on Wednesdays, where, as Andrew knows, is the barren sports desert.
Yeah, you got some slightly different priorities going on there, but I think you found an ally,
You wind up talking about adult video places whenever you don't have football to cover on a certain day. So I guess Thursday will become the barren sports desert. We just need to have football all week long. NFL all week long. Make it happen.
I mean, they could do a day, like a game once a day easily.
Oh, yeah, and then like all you do, like stagger the teams around, like whatever team played on Tuesday, next plays on Monday, and like just go back order on it.
Yeah, this would be easy to get figured out. I mean, NFL's committed to with this juggernaut of a season anyway. Why not?
Oh man, just give the people what they want, more football.
Mhm.
Could you imagine how many divorces would happen if you just had football 7 days a week?
Maybe that's why they don't do it. They're trying to preserve the fabric of society.
Oh yes, the sanctity of marriage, as we've seen in the United States, what that amounts to here. But Andrew, before we get into all the other stuff here, Andrew does have a show coming up, a new show, Talk El Paso, with a reimagining of sorts of Talk El Paso, Monday through Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. on our partner station, KTSM AM 690. Y'all need to go out, support this local news coverage. Andrew, tell them what they can expect.
Well, we'll definitely be talking about the spike that we're in the middle of here. What Dean Margo announced today is that if you haven't heard yet, as of midnight tonight, so starting Friday, all businesses will be capped at 50% capacity of their occupancy. Bars and restaurants, or rather I should say, restaurants operating as bars or vice versa, restaurants will only be allowed to have, again, that 50% capacity. And at 9 o'clock, they will not allow anyone in the stores. They can only do drive-through, carry-out, etc. So those are some of the major things. And we got other things coming clamping down here. We're actually going to be talking with Dean Margo next week during the launch of the show. We're going daily starting October 19th here. That's this coming Monday. We're going to be talking with him, most of it is campaign, but you know this stuff is going to come up because it has to.
I see our friend Dana Morales is tuned in. She's joined us here. Dana, tomorrow, please, if you may, grace us with some of your sweet heat treats.
Ooh, yes.
I have been craving those. Tomorrow, if you may, please swing by the studio. If not, let me know where I can go pick them up. I will be like, I need those in my life right now. I've been fiending. I've been seeing her name come in on like the comment sections and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I can no longer withhold my addiction to the sweet heat treats. Like, I need to find a way to get that in my veins right now, since I don't have basketball, hockey, all the stuff that I got used to having, just the buffet of sports that we had during the month of September. I'm sad.
And now they don't have Thursday night football. This is what we're replacing.
I think this is like the only week, right? Well, I mean, all the
We'll see.
Nothing is written in ink or tattooed right now for the NFL. Everything is written in pencil. Dana's saying that she will be here.
Excellent.
I am about it. I got to literally nothing that I wanted to talk about. So before we get to the break, I just want to say this, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
I am tired of seeing people going out and blaming politicians for the way that things are being handled whenever it comes to COVID-19 and all the stuff going around during the pandemic. We are all adults. We all know how we should act. We all know that if someone has a flu, what do? We stay the hell away. Because, once again, we are functioning adults. If you want to treat this disease as though it were the flu, then treat it as such.
At the very least.
At the very least. It's not hard to wear a mask. It's not hard to do any of the other stuff that people are asking you to do. Whenever you go in and you say, oh, well, that restaurant felt weird about, the restaurant felt weird because it wasn't at capacity and I could hear other conversations. One, you're being selfish. Two, that literally happens at every restaurant, even if it's full.
Yeah, like, get over it. Like, I understand if this is frustrating, if this is inconvenient, but we want to make sure that we're not having businesses closing. We need to get on this. We need to get on board with
It's
this.
all about preservation right now. And like, my heart hurts because I drive around town. Like, I have a long drive that I have to do to get to here to get here to work, to go back home. Like, I got a long drive. And as I make that drive, I see business after business after business with those nasty orange signs, yellow signs saying now for lease or whatever the hell they've got going on. That hurts my heart. But the reason why is because we've done this to ourselves. It's not hard. It is not hard. Take care of yourself. Take care of others as well. Whenever we come back, though, here on the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, Fox Sports 1380, I asked this question, and I want everyone to mull this over during the break. Is UTEP doing the right thing? More sports coming up next.
You got their news release, right?
Huh?
Did you get UTEP's news release?
I'm not sure I did. I didn't read it. Can you get it for me, please?
I got it somewhere.
Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. Dana, you made my day. Dana made my day, y'all. Oh, the big fat guy in me is dancing around happily. About to have a coronary. Did you see the video that I put out on Instagram yesterday?
Was it with you in the mask?
No, that was today. I put
That
out
was
way
today,
too much
okay.
content. I put out a video yesterday because we had our guy Clario G on Monday, and he
Right.
was talking about that restaurant, El Rincon de Cortez. I went yesterday to go pick up some Chinese food from that place I told you about, Fun Noodle Bar. This is how you know I have tunnel vision as a big fat guy. They are right next to each other. Like not like a hypothetical, like a literal, they are neighbors. And I did not know that they were right next to each other.
Well,
Because all I wanted was my Chinese food because I'm a big fat guy.
it happens.
Girthy. Also, for the people that were out there asking, Dana saying that that's what she's here for. I love that. I got in a lot of questions from people asking about my back. I had mentioned the issue that I have on my back.
You did.
Apparently, a severe back spasm. They have given me
Pretty severe, yeah.
multiple injections and all kinds of stuff, and I've got to go pick up some prescriptions on the way home.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Apparently, my right hip was raised because of the back spasm.
You gotta stop this stuff, man.
One of these days, I'll learn how to take care of myself. What's up, Adrian? I see you on the comment section. My guy. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Nathan Nella saying Chinese food is the best. I am on that same...
I'm not disagreeing with you here. That's for sure.
Because, like, I love all the Mexican food here, but I feel like there's too much of it.
Yep, we got a lot of the Chinese food, too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Because Sonny's... Well, sushi... No, sushi's not Chinese.
No, it's not. That is
It's Asian. Yeah. So, there we go, man. Like, I'm good with that. Dan Ornella saying I need to calm down with the deadlifts. Want to give a shout out to my guy Sarge Preston tuning in right here on the show as well. Thank you, my dude, for the love and support. I wish it was deadlifts. All it is, man, is just curling the burgers. I'm so
Just
weak
doing
now. I'm so weak now. I have to put my back into it. The herky jerky motion. I dropped a chicken nugget on the floor and I threw my back out picking it up. See, I'm with Dan on this. Thai food goes hard. Whenever we get back on the because now like this is going to be a thing. I'm about to scrap my whole show again.
You want my pen? Just cross out everything.
I've got one here. I've been doing it. I got the whole thing in yesterday, didn't I? That sounded bad.
Yeah, you're actually pretty good.
That sounded bad phrasing. What was our keyword? Was it bank?
I missed. Let me look at the log.
Or was it smile?
Smile.
It is the tipping point of my tipping, rocking with you on a Thursday here on Fox Sports 1380. Got my guy Andrew J. Polk hanging out. You can follow him on Twitter at Andrew J. Polk, on Instagram at Talk El Paso. Be sure to support his show coming up on Monday. The newly reimagined Talk El Paso, Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. KTSM AM 690.
4 to 5 p.m. for the moment.
4 to 5.
I don't mind your suggestion there, Tim.
I think I put both of our shows together.
There you go.
Is
Yep.
what I did here.
That is your afternoon programming blog from iHeartRadio.
Is this a new afternoon delight?
Absolutely.
I forgot to tag my dude DJ in that. As I said that, it came to mind that I was supposed to tag him in that. I apologize. Hopefully he's not listening in right now. I posed the dumbest question I've ever asked on the stream. I asked, do you want to have a chance at $1,000? Of course you do.
Okay, yeah, like that's not a question.
Well, all you have to do, except for me and Andrew, we are not allowed to do this. And our family. I apologize, direct family.
Fuck.
All you have to do is text SMILE, 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 to 200-200. This is a nationwide contest. Your normal terms and conditions apply whenever it comes to the standard message and data rates. Who still pays for like individual messages? I feel like that's such an old thing to say.
It is such an old thing to say. I've heard like people describing that to like their kids and then being like, "You're lying. That doesn't make sense."
What like because I feel like in 05 I started buying like unlimited text plans.
Okay, yeah, I feel like they were around, but they were like expensive back then.
So I grew up, like whenever I graduated from high school, late 90s, early 2000s, I am a 02 graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I was a senior, my parents let me borrow their cell phone so I can call a girl that I was dating at the time. We decided, hey, this texting thing is actually pretty cool. That got expensive quick.
Yup.
And guess who had to pay with it or pay for it by crawling under mobile homes?
With goats.
Always the goats. Did I ever tell you about me breaking the horn of a goat?
I think you did.
Okay, then I won't rehash that story unless people ask me to. Like, if there's someone out there that's interested in the animal abuse that I had, I've grown and matured as an adult. That was me as a small child.
Also, I mean, it was two-way abuse. Let's be honest.
Damn goat! I hated that damn thing.
Yep, there it is.
Bringing up the old memories of things that I had, but. You want a chance to win $1,000. All you got to do is text SMILE to 200-200. It's a nationwide contest. Your standard message and data rates apply. We are giving away $12,000 every day here, iHeartRadio.
Mm-hmm.
So listen in at specific times, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 8, 9, 10, 11, noon, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Don't know why they have those weird times in between.
Why not?
It's whatever. COVID. I'm blaming everything on COVID. Those are your times to listen in. We always got different keywords. That means the next keyword is coming up at 7 o'clock. You can use SMILE all hour long and be entered to win in that contest as well. We were talking about Chinese food.
We were
talking about all kinds of food during the stream, during the break on the stream. And Dan Ornelas hit me with this, and I think I may agree with him. But I think that my bias towards like certain places are going to run me right here. Dan Ornelas saying Thai food goes hard. I love Thai food.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
So whenever it comes to like the different like Asian foods that we can get, is Thai the number one?
Oh, that's a hard ranking.
So let's rank them. Number one, because like I feel like mine is always going to be sushi. So like Japanese, anything of that nature will always be number one. Then I'm going to go like Chinese.
Yeah.
Because like I love like Chinese, and I'm like an idiot. I always get the same thing, General Tso's all the time. That's what I do. Fried rice.
It's good.
It slaps. That's what it does, man. And then I'll go Thai, and then Vietnamese I think is bringing up the rear. Ooh, I forgot about Korean. Korean's number two. Korean above Chinese food. So it's Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Thai, Vietnamese. That's the way that I'm doing mine.
Okay. Respect that.
Andrew, what's yours?
I feel like I've got the same sushi thing, but it might just because no one else in my family ever wants it. So I'm always like, wait, we can get sushi? Okay, that we're definitely doing that. So I feel like it's sushi, Chinese. I don't feel like we got much Korean around here.
Oh, you need to take your happy butt up to the Northeast. You're about to get a hard A. You need to take your rear end. I will take you over there, not on Mondays. I will take you to a place. As a matter of fact, we'll invite Jennifer Hahn. We'll make a date of it, man. It is going to be a fantastic, life-changing experience.
Okay, I'm in.
Oh, Indian food. Do we put Indian food in the Asian cuisine?
I mean, it is technically in Asia, but I feel like Indian food always gets segregated out as being, subcontinental Asian.
Read the room with your words, Andrew.
Hey, I'm using. It's accurate in this case.
You can send all your hate mail to Andrew Polk at iHeartMedia.com or at Andrew J. Polk. Follow him on Twitter. It's a good thing.
Yeah. Or physically to our address here. We got that too.
Yes. That was last week.
Yeah.
For a 3-month-old thing we did. Anyway, different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah. Japanese. Oh, good Japanese steakhouse too.
Oh, that's
man.
Okay, Japanese is definitely first, even with or without sushi.
Like with the entertainment factor in it.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the best Japanese steakhouse in El Paso?
I mean, I've only really ever been to one.
Is it Hayashi over there on like Yarborough?
No, the one over here on the west side, which name I'm blanking on at the moment.
Jose?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Jose Tep and Grill. I have the team stuck in my head. Yeah, that's the only one I've been to in town, so it's the only one I can vouch for.
Our friend Brandon the Iceman Cone wants me to take him out for his birthday to Jose. He still owes me for mine.
Oh, there you go, man.
So we just go cancel each other out? Is that what
Yeah.
it is? You know, I think what I might make it do is like he has to take me to Cattleman's.
Ooh, okay.
Because we're like 4 months away now from my birthday, man. Like, you've had 8 months. Well, COVID also. I still do feel terrible about being the only person in my family where I could have actually gone out and done something on my birthday because it was pre-COVID and I chose to stay home and watch the NBA All-Star game.
But you did.
I know. I'm such a jerk. So, okay. So once again, rehashing our top list here of Asian cuisine: Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Thai, Vietnamese.
Yeah. I don't know. Pho is pretty good, though.
I'm not a big fan of pho.
Okay.
For show. Once again, everyone gets to think about it. Is UTEP doing the right thing? More sports coming up next.
I couldn't get it to print from this, but I forwarded you the email, the statement from Heather Wilson, president of UTEP.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
I'm going to do some ASMR.
All right.
I've had these chips here for like 3 days. Actually, no, probably like a week and a half. That's a weird time frame, like time lapse of 3 days to what was a week and a half. I think I got this Monday last week.
Time is no meaning. Whatever, man.
All right. So a little ASMR for my ASMR listeners out there. We have a bag of baked Lays. I'm going to open it up as you hear me ruffling around with it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. And now the opening. We're going to go in and grab a chip now. I love the baked Lays.
Oh, the baked are the best. I always love it.
I feel bad for like the random person that's never been a part of this that tunes in at like that point.
I gotta say though, what you said earlier about we got all these inside jokes but never any callbacks, that's not true, man.
I'll say we do call some of them back.
We call a bunch of them back, a lot. You having a messed up childhood?
Ad nauseum.
ASMR.
No, we bring up my messed up childhood way too much.
I mean, you bring up your messed up childhood.
You brought up the goat today.
I know, because we were talking about your childhood.
That's scars. You go talk to a doctor.
I will say, I did drop the green milk on you yesterday, but I feel like you were also talking about growing up like a cockroach, so I don't know.
No. Like I grew up and like our house was that old where like cockroaches were just randomly walking around the floor. And like if you were laying down or sitting down watching TV on the floor, guess what was on you?
Yeah.
And I don't mean like the little itty bitty ones. I mean water bugs.
Yeah.
Them MFers fly. Nothing turns you into like the least manliest individual of all time like a flying roach.
Oh, yeah. No, you're getting smooth the hell away from that. Like, yeah.
Like if somebody created a horror movie of just flying roaches, I like that would be more terrifying to me than La Llorona.
Yeah, they messed up by making it the fly. It should have been the roach.
Oh.
Yeah, horror movie classic right there.
Also, the original better than the remake.
Yeah, the remake had the body horror going on real strong.
Yeah, but the original had a better like actual story.
Okay.
And the graphics for like back then were fantastic.
No, it wasn't too bad, no.
Although the ending sucked.
Yeah.
What's up, D? Hope you're doing well. Nothing but love for you. Oh. It is the tipping point of Mike Tipton, rocking with you on a Thursday. Got my guy Andrew J. Polk hanging out here. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Andrew J. Polk at Talk El Paso. Want to go shout out to our guy Dennis Joyner tuning in right now. Our friend Pat Vallejo saying, "Good evening, gentlemen. Don't forget to dress warm tomorrow." Cold front. El Paso cold front, though.
Let's say is it an actual cold front, or just when everyone around here is suddenly wearing like parkas with shorts?
Also, the dumbest flex of all time, that's right up there with flops and socks. If you wear flip-flops and you have socks on, I can't even say it.
Yeah, reevaluate your
Yes,
life.
I was going to say that I was going to glue a dog's elbows together the next time I see it. Unnecessary, but that's what's going to come out of my mouth. Gluing a dog's elbows together. That poor dog.
No kidding. Jeez.
But it is a tipping point on my Tipping Fox Sports 1380. We got a little sidetracked with some of the stuff a little bit earlier today.
Does it count as a sidetrack if it's basically the main track at this point?
I was about to say, yeah, it's taking us off the rails. It's a detour. That's what we'll call it. We call it a detour. Now we're getting back on the main highway over here. It's like, getting off of Mesa as soon as you possibly can to get away from all the construction.
Yeah, that's like getting off Mesa and anything in Juarez.
Oh, God. Did I ever tell you about the Uber driver that took me into Juarez?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the child locks her on in the back seat. Trust me, I tried.
Oh, that's a bad day.
Yeah.
That's a bad day shaping up right there.
Super bad day. And I'll tell that some other time.
Jeez,
I asked the question about, is UTEP doing it right? Andrew J. Polk, you have a statement from the university.
Yeah, so they came up with a very extensive statement because notably in the stuff we talked about earlier in the show with Mayor DeMargo and the City County Health Authority announcing more restrictions coming into place because we're going in the very wrong direction with COVID infections. Notably, he said that some sports events were going to be affected, but that these restrictions on sporting events would not impact collegiate or professional sports, meaning specifically what he then said, locomotives and UTEP games. So UTEP pretty quickly came out with a statement after that from Heather Wilson, president of UTEP, stating at the start here, quote, UTEP leadership continues to monitor the public health situations in El Paso daily and maintain communications with city and county public health officials. And then it's a very extensive statement, kind of lays out a bunch of parts of what they're doing, how they've been taking things, but it doesn't exactly say that they're not going to do things. Basically, saying early voting still going on major points, that they have had home health games, but then they will maintain these conditions for that if you're sick, anything like that. So it looks like they are still going ahead with these. They're not saying anything on their own that they're going to stop doing these games. So in compliance with technically the local ordinances, but I think in a lot of people's minds, maybe not going far enough.
I will say, yes, it's in compliance with the local ordinances. Yes, UTEP is, doing the quote unquote politically correct thing right here. They need to stand, make a stand right now because these numbers are going up. The El Paso locomotive, I don't know how many people, I think they said it was 1,600 people maybe for what they sold out this last one at a 10,000 seat area. Maybe that's 10%, 16% on the dot.
Right.
Hey, look at me, I'm smart. So you come up with that, and I guess that's a decent enough number. But I still feel wary about people being near each other with the way that the numbers have just skyrocketed right now. So UTEP needs to come out with a hard number. This is who we're going to have. Because if they say, okay, we'll allow 10,000 people in because we are allowed to have 10,000 people in. That's a lot of people for me, man. That's a lot of people for me to want to be around. And
then it's the second order effects. How many people wouldn't even have gone to that game except it's going to be the only thing you can do at this point? I heard stories of people going wandering around Walmart at the start of this because we can't go wander around anywhere else. I guess we'll go to Walmart and just hang out. People are being dumb about it. And then it's going to be people who say, well, if we can go to a football game, why can't I go to my bar? People are going to take this. It's the signaling of it, if anything. And to more specifically read that statement, the segment from the statement here, what they said is that we have carefully monitored compliance and results of previous events, and there was no evidence of community spread attributed to these outdoor mass, socially distant, low-density attendance games. city guidance does not prohibit fans from coming to the Sun Bowl this weekend, in large part because the UTEP athletic department and UTEP fans have shown that we can do this safely. Again, quoting from the statement released on behalf of UTEP President Heather Wilson here. So that's the line they're taking.
Our guy Augustine Pimentel, like he had his issue with COVID-19, saying that it's really disturbing that people are not taking this seriously. I mean, it's really pathetic that people are not taking this seriously. So here is the thing: if you're not wearing a mask if you're not wearing a mask or not trying to social distance, don't expect me to contribute to your GoFundMe funeral. I know that's like a hard line in the sand to draw, but it's 100% the truth.
It absolutely is. I mean, we've seen this stuff doesn't come out of nowhere. There's no one else bringing this here. It's us. We're doing this to ourselves, and we don't have the people taking this seriously. And like, sure, there might be the people who can think that I will go out and responsibly do things and be safe about it. But again, you got to think about how everyone is taking this. And someone's going to say like, oh, that guy's wandering around. I guess I'll be fine too. And maybe not have that same understanding of it. Like it's a huge problem that we all have to take seriously.
Can we talk about what your wife does?
Sure.
Okay, so what is the title that your wife has here in the city of El Paso?
She is a clinical social worker.
So she is a clinical social worker. She has to deal with like mental health, like things of that nature whenever it comes to your mental health.
Right.
I was listening to NPR the other day, and I want to see if it was Morning Edition. I want to say it was Morning Edition, where they were talking about a side effect of COVID-19 being brain fog, where there was a woman who was sitting at the edge of her bed, and as she recovered from COVID-19, there was like a month or so afterwards, as she recovered from COVID-19, was crying because she could not remember what her phone was, what it was called, what she sat up for, and what she had to do that day. And it was attributed to something that happened to her cognitively from COVID-19. We are just now learning the effects of this thing. This isn't something that we've been able to study for decades, like what we do with a lot of other diseases out there and things of that nature. There's like real issues, like real world things that are going out here messing with stuff. And everyone here already knows I'm a huge proponent of the El Paso Alzheimer's Association as we try to get rid of Alzheimer's and all other forms of dementia. That brain fog is what a lot of people are calling, the ones that have suffered from it, they're calling it a thing like where it's dementia, where they feel like they have like the diagnoses of dementia. There was a man that forgot what his pencil was as he was at work. They had to give him a 3-month reprieve from work because of the way that the COVID-19 impacted his cognitive abilities.
That is rough.
This isn't something that people need to be taking lightly. And yet here we are in a city that like we opened up things a lot later than some of the other cities in Texas did, but for whatever reason, we are the only one exploding right now.
Also, let's just make it clear, we have never had a true lockdown here. Sure, we've had restrictions, but you look at what New Zealand did, and they had, I mean, heck, they're going back into it right now. Chris Babcock had a great post about this, detailing it, that they are just send out texts again saying, wherever you're staying tonight, you're staying for several weeks, not moving, not leaving. And you look at the differences there. I mean, we've had some comparisons between El Paso and the rest of New Mexico as kind of comparable. They have more deaths than we do, but we're on the same about case level amount. So you can even draw that a little bit higher to, I mean, New Zealand has more people than we have, either, El Paso, New Mexico combined, and yet their deaths nationwide were in like double digits. It's a big difference. So they've done the extremes and then we're able to fully reopen. So we've been kind of muddling around in this middle area of like half open, half not reopening, kind of going back and forth between percentages and never fully doing either. And it's just been extended.
The wonderful D Wu letting me know that it was actually Morning Edition on Monday. So I appreciate that very much. I want to give the proper credit out to where I heard that from. But it was terrifying hearing that. And it's terrifying hearing the way that these numbers are jumping up. We were excited because we saw a light at the end of the tunnel here. We were like, hey, we're going to be able to get people back that work in this building. Because for those of you that don't know, this is an enormous building.
Oh, it's caverns, yeah.
On a good day, there are 5 of us here. It is eerily quiet from what we are used to having at a radio station. Even following that Dark Tuesday that we had earlier this year, there was still a buzz going around this building. It is, trust me when I say this, most Fridays, I'm the only one here for a good part of that day.
Yeah.
And it's the same with you on like a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We would love nothing more than to have our colleagues back with us. Trust me, it hurts that careers ended because of this COVID-19. But it's even more frustrating whenever you know it's because we are continually doing it to ourselves.
We are. We absolutely are. And I know people like to rail in the mayor's news conference this morning. I heard some people saying, free men don't ask position. Like, I get it. You want to be able to have all of your freedoms, and you don't want to be restricted, but there's also some personal responsibility you got to take for these things. And to just say, I don't care what anyone says, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want, that's a child's attitude. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. That's just fact.
For the people that are out there saying that, and I would truly love this, and I very rarely pull this flex. I don't think I've done it ever before in front of you, Andrew. But the people that want to go out there and say that, like, oh, free men don't bend, don't break, blah, 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 blah. Did you defend our country? Because if you didn't, I don't feel like you have that ability to say something like that. Because there are a bunch of people that went out there and died defending this country so that we can actually treat each other like equals. And we can actually care about one another. There's a whole group of people out there that do not care, that strictly do not care. And it's a very selfish mindset, like Andrew said, a very childish mindset. And I hate that I'm going on like this lecture right now of what is, COVID-19 and how it's impacting the city of El Paso. But like I said, we drive around this place. We know people that have been impacted personally on that level of COVID-19, of having family members pass away, of losing their businesses, of having to pack up and leave town because whatever the dream was that they had here in the city of El Paso cannot come true because people continue to just take this damn thing lightly. It is not to be taken lightly. And I hope that UTEP and I hope the Locomotive come out here and they say, look, this is what we are going to do. Like it, love it, live with it. Because if they don't, then they're taking the easy route out of it where they want to go do the one thing that I said we can no longer do. We can no longer go around blaming our city officials. We can no longer go around blaming our governor for the decisions we do to ourselves. Whenever we come back on the tipping point of my tip in Fox Sports 1380, we lighten it up a little bit, or maybe we don't. We'll see how it goes.
Probably not. Like,
I mean, there's no way that it can't get lighter than what I just did.
That's true. You hear about those orphans getting run over by the steamroller?
Did you hear about that fire at the puppy farm? My goodness.
Yeah.
That's also another thing. Like, obviously, put in the comments, like so many people going to like Cancun and stuff like that. I've seen so many people like crossing over the border, and like it has to be terrifying for Juarez as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come on. I got a little emotional there.
You got
I got heated, man. I'm normally like the level-headed one.
Yeah, and I gotta say, El Paso County Judge Ricardo Samaniego, I don't have any particular personal issues with him, but he keeps having these real bad looks with all of this because that news conference today, DeMarco didn't say what, and I don't know what, but the only thing, he was not there, and he says that the county judge is out of town. And it's like, okay, even if it's like on the most official of business, or like a funeral, or like something like crisis, at least give us something there, because right now it seems like, well, he's just out of town.
No, like he's out on some vacation.
Yeah, that just leaves a lot of room to play in the mind. So the county justice had a lot of bad looks during all this. Whether he deserves it or not, it keeps coming out that way.
Cody James Bachmeyer saying that people are just dumb. He has Locomotive playoff tickets, and he hopes that they cancel the game. I hope they don't cancel the game. But what they need to do, and like what a lot of people need to do, is realize that this is a fluid situation, and not everything needs to be in concrete or written in stone or any of that other stuff. Tell the fans they can't go. That's simple. Protect your investment in those players.
Right? If I was a player, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. And then find a way to reimburse them later. Like even if it's autographed stuff, something of that nature.
Yeah.
Because yes, we know the tickets aren't free or cheap or anything of that nature. Get them something that will suffice being at the game. And then stream the game. Like the game's on the CW, I want to say. It's even on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
So it's not like people can't watch it. This isn't the way that it was like a long time ago, where like the only way you could watch a certain event is like if you actually either went or had like a package where you could watch it. Everything's available now.
Everything. Like, okay, so the reason we've done the mayoral series we've done on Talk El Paso is because it was so hard to get that kind of information about it otherwise previously. Now everything has gone online, Zoom, Teams meetings, whatever it is. So there's so many places you can find that now. There's no reason sports couldn't also do that.
Cody's saying that he did mean just fan-wise, so I didn't want to misrepresent you, Cody. I apologize. Like I said, and like I get it, UTEP wants to have like the boost of people being there for fireworks, which is kind of another topic to talk about because the football product obviously isn't good enough to get people out there. They want the people out there for fireworks. A halftime fireworks show, that sounds like something bad. You normally have the fireworks afterwards, not during halftime.
Yeah.
Also, what are we celebrating? I feel like fireworks have to be something you celebrate for.
There's a lot of questions in all of this.
Oh well, I'm not the one in charge.
No, because you'd be bringing that flamethrower to everyone that way.
Cody's saying it too. Duke Keith calls the games for the Locomotive when they're at home. None better than Duke Keith. None better than Duke Keith.
Props where it's deserved.
I had rats in my house growing up too. It is a tipping point. Mike Tipton, Fox Sports 1380. That's a joke, or is it?
It's not.
Got my guy Andrew J. Polk hanging out. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Andrew J. Polk, at Talk El Paso. Andrew, you're doing something exciting starting on Monday. What is it?
They're going to be launching the new daily series of Talk El Paso starting at 4 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, October 19th. We're going to be talking about all this stuff. Hopefully, maybe do a little pressure release valve for you here today, or maybe it'll just amp you up more. Who knows? We'll find out because we got so much going on, so much to talk about. We're in this spike. We're going to be bringing you updates on that as we have been throughout this coronavirus pandemic response, man. Just so much more. We got talking with our elected officials. We're talking with all the mayoral candidates who've been addressing these issues. So we're going to continue that coverage and much more as we keep going round and round with this pandemic.
Beautiful. Just beautiful. There is no Thursday night football. Of course, go out there, support what Andrew's doing. I do not want to put that on the back burner. Support what Andrew is doing. Like covering news here in El Paso and what has been referred to by like representation as a news desert. Andrew trying to water the cactus here or get the cactus to grow.
Let's get a bloom going.
There we go. That's what we want. There is no Thursday night football. So the biggest story in today with the NFL is not, I repeat, is not the Atlanta Falcons shutting down the stuff because they had one of the people test positive for COVID-19. Not a player. We got to put that out there. Not a player, just some sort of office personnel.
Okay.
We'll see how far that goes.
Uh-huh.
It's not the Atlanta Falcons testing positive for COVID-19. It is also not the fact that Dak Prescott finally put out a video saying thank you to everybody out there for the love and support the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, the most important position in sports, the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. Now being replaced by the one Andy Dalton. How is that going to go? That is not what is the most important thing today in the NFL.
Oh, really?
It is, Andrew, the ending of the Bengals-Ravens game this past Sunday. The final score, 27-3, a blowout. You normally wouldn't have any fireworks on that, not 4 days after it happened. But no, the defensive coordinator of the Cincinnati Bengals is upset right now. I also want to know how he got this nickname. His name is Don Martindale and has the nickname Wink.
Oh, that's got to be a weird story.
I was about to say, like, there's got to be something there. Like, I need to know. Maybe we could like get Mike Rivera to have all of his stuff. But hey, we'll like get out there, get Wink Martindale on this show. I feel like that's also a character name in some like 60s sitcom, Wink Martindale.
Could be worse. Could be a Y on there.
Yeah. But he was asked for his reaction at the end of the game because, Andrew, as you know, as an avid sports football fan that you are, the Cincinnati Bengals kicked a field goal with 37 seconds left in the game to avoid the shutout in the game 27-3.
Leave with dignity?
I'm about to say, is there even dignity there? Like what dignity do you save? We fast forward to today. Wink Martindale, I'm just going to call him Wink for the rest of his life.
Good old Winky.
Was asked for his reaction whenever the Bengals kicked that field goal, and he said, "quote," he referring to the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, Zach Taylor, former Texas Tech alum, guns up. He knew that it was because it was awful quiet when I yelled it across the field. So he knew what the reaction was whenever Wink yelled it across the field. There are some people that take that as a victory. We'll see. We have plenty to talk about the next time we play them. Did the Bengals Ravens game 2020 2.0 become must-watch TV there?
I feel like the NFL would be smarter than to capitalize on this. Certainly.
Danny Molina saying, "How is Wink Martindale worse?" Cody James Bachmeyer commenting on here, Tip, I'm not to light another fire, but don't you find it ironic that so many people in El Paso say there's nothing to do here? Boom, COVID hits, and people are everywhere. The people in El Paso, like I've always said, I love this city. People do not realize how much I love this city. Whenever I, like all the places I've lived, it's not El Paso. I went to war for this city with Alaskans regularly. In my travels, I flew my Texas flag and had my El Paso T-shirts in North Carolina and Connecticut and all kinds of places. I'm not talking proverbial or like figurative. I had a literal 8-foot Texas flag that I flew from my home. Like outside in my house, everyone else had the American flag. I was flying the Texas flag.
You were that guy.
I am that guy. I've said it a million times. I am a Texan before I am an American. I take it hard in the paint.
No kid.
There's a million things to do here. You just got to get out and find it. Not everything's going to be handed to you on a platter.
I mean, remember how everyone was screaming about the hike bike trails when they were trying to do the shutdown on those ahead of time? And yet, when we're in situations, we're like, well, what can you do? No one ever talks about those. I mean, I feel like it's a positive way to put it would be don't know what you got till it's gone. But yeah, we have a lot of people who say that, hell Paso, nothing to do, all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, a lot of people that just flee out of here as soon as they can, not understanding that we do have it pretty good here.
So working up in the mothership, I had a great insight to like different people's mindsets that have worked all over this business whenever it came down to like the city of El Paso. And one of my closest friends and mentors is Jonathan Hood, works for ESPN 1000 up in Chicago. Knows his stuff. As a matter of fact, he's on the morning show up there in Chicago. That's a huge deal for that market. There's a joke within the wrestling community because he's a huge wrestling guy, where even Vince McMahon is worried about bringing things to El Paso because of how late arriving our crowds are. Everything is last minute here.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Everything is last minute here. So they say it like that in El Paso. They have to keep the lights dim until about the third match and then bring the lights up if they're on TV. Which, if you're Vince McMahon and them, you understand, like now as an El Pasoan, why Vince McMahon would not come. Because you have to make sure you get your money before you show up somewhere. Like that is the thing. El Paso's that exact same way. Whenever it comes to like trying to find things at like restaurants or find a new place to go. Like that's the one thing that has always bothered me here is that instead of supporting someone on their way up, we expect them to give us stuff for free, and then we'll support them after they make it, maybe. Danny Molina saying they need to open up campsites, how to keep activities and safe distance from others. Go freaking camping. I agree with that 100%.
I'd agree with that as long as we don't end up with a Red Sands kind of situation where people are just like, oh, we're camping, and then just have these massive congregations and gunfights, gunshots and fistfights, all that fun Red Sands stuff.
I love how Red Sands became the wild, wild west.
No kid.
We're talking about Tombstone. Maybe I need to go out there and Doc Holiday it up.
They've locked it off, supposedly, but the thing out there is it's all four-wheelers anyway, so they're going to find a way around.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Grow the mustache out too.
I think I should. I've been telling Destiny I want to grow it out like a handlebar. We'll see how I go. I think I can do it.
You only one way to find out.
Yeah, just go hard in the paint. That's the way we do it here on the Tipping Point with my Tipton Fox Sports 1380.
On your tombstone.
I did ask the question though. Does that make you interested now in this maybe meaningless game between the Ravens and the Bengals, where like they basically came out and said, "We got something for you. You want to kick a last-second field goal? We got something for you." Like, one, it's a petty move. I understand, like, kicking the field goal petty. Well, I feel like holding on to it and trying to use that as, like, some sort of, like, oh, they disrespected the crap out of us. Well, that's also pretty stupid.
It feels very WWE.
The Neanderthal. I didn't have a countdown.
Yeah, I know. I missed that one. Sorry.
I was even thinking to myself, like we got about 20, maybe 15 seconds. I thought that as like you said your thing. So
well,
those of you
right.
that didn't get to see that, we got hit with a hard network out. It actually planned out pretty well.
Yeah, it worked. It's not quite as clean as we usually do it. Oh well.
Everybody, thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the support. We'll see you tomorrow. Feel Good Friday!
Woo!